again, and welcome back to another Maya tutorial. Today I'm going to show you basic vertex manipulation, how it's useful, how you can use it. For me, out of the three types of manipulation, vertex, face, and edge, my favorite is probably vertex just because of its versatility. Face, like I showed in my last video, faces are really good for extruding objects, edges and vertices, although you can extrude edges. Those are typically more for shaping objects you already have. So I'm just going to draw a cube here, holding shift. Here's my cube. I am going to give it some divisions. Subdivide it a couple times that way, a couple times that way, and a couple times this way. So I've divided my cube up a little bit. Whoops. Okay, so I'm just going to right click on it and hover over vertex and let go. And if you can see, it puts these little purple reddish dots on your object. These are called vertices. If I go to my orthographic side view by pressing spacebar, this is probably the best way to manipulate vertices, because as you can see, there's a whole row of vertices here going all the way back, all the way through the object, but I can just click and drag a box right here. And I've selected all the vertices in that whole ring. I can then take the scale tool, scale it down this way, this one, and then scale this one down. So I made, so you can quickly rough out a shape and say I go to, and since I scaled it proportionally, it scaled it both directions. If I only scaled it the one way, then I could go the other direction and scale it the other way. I use this method when making characters, and I have a side and a front orthographic view. I model it so the front looks good, and then I go to the side and then match the side up, and then theoretically it should be correct if you adjust the vertices on both the front and the side view so they both match, even though that's not always the case. You can select vertices in rows. If I select this vertice and then shift double click the one next to it, it'll select the row. If I select this vertice and then shift to select one that's not next to it, it'll select all the ones in between it. You can move vertices. You can rotate vertices, and you can scale them as well, like I showed already. I'm trying to think of anything special there is about the vertice tool. You can, just like any edge, face, or vertice, you can grow the selection by holding shift and pressing the greater than or period key on your keyboard, and it will grow it by one row in each direction. For faces, so I select this face, I can grow the selection by one level each way. If I do 4, it'll scale it the same. The nice thing about vertices is even if you have quads like this, there is a center point. So say you need to pull a spire out of this or something, you can pull a spire out of it. I would then have to harden the edges around that to get it to look right, but you get the idea. They're pretty useful. Great for little tweaks and things like that. So yeah, so you can, the possibilities are endless with vertices. And you have to be careful, because if you're modeling something and you're like, oh, I want it to be really smooth right now, and then you go and you try to move the individual vertices. For instance, if I smooth this right now, mesh smooth, and I'll show this tool in more detail later, but I'll just up it to something ridiculous, and I'll smooth it. You can see that the number of vertices I have now is exponentially higher. So if I was to move each individual vertex, it's not very practical. So watch out for that when you are manipulating vertices. I like to rough it out first and add divisions as I need it, smooth as I need it. That makes working with vertices a lot easier. So I hope this helped, and I will see you guys in my next video.